So I'm at the router table and I have my bit. I have a white side straight bit designed for plywood, for 3/4 or 18 millimeter plywood. The diameter of the bit is actually 23/32. I have the height set for 9 millimeters, which is the half the thickness of the plywood. And the front edge here of the bit is 100 millimeters away from the fence. So all I'm doing is I'm going to make a test cut to make sure that a piece fits in there and everything is the way I intend it to be with my fancy SketchUp drawing here. Okay? So for my test piece, that's going to be perfect for my dados. And double check the depth that I have, which should be 9 millimeters, and I have 9 millimeters. So I'm good to go. I want to remove this material here from the front of the side of the cabinet. That's going to accept my front stretcher. Okay. To set this up, since I'm removing the top, the top stretchers, the top of the stretcher should be flush with the top of the side of the cabinet. I'm going to use this piece of wood, that's this, or the plywood, as a spacer. So I'll get the cutter so it's towards the front here of the table, and then I will just slide this back so that the router bit touches this piece here, and I'll lock that in place. Now I know that I'm set the distance that I need to be to make that cut, but I need to it needs to stop here 100 millimeters in. I'll use that stop and I will set it up like this. Scrap piece, this is the actual stretcher. I'll turn the bit so that the cutter edge is towards this piece of scrap wood, and I will slide this over so that the router bit is now hitting the scrap piece. That's the point that I want to stop. And this is where I'm going to lock in my stopping point. Okay, so I'll make this test cut and see how well we did and go from there. Okay, so my stretcher is going to fit nice and flush right here on the top of the side, but as you can see, I have that round edge there that I can clean up with a chisel, and I'm good to go. So I can make 2 cuts with this setup, and that gives me the groove on the top front of the right side of the cabinets. Now I need to take this and flip it over here and set it up for the left front of the cabinets. I'm going to do the same thing to set up. The distance for the fence is fine. I just need to find my stopping point. Okay, so this is my new stopping point. Okay, so now that this cut is done, I don't have to move anything here. I just have to get rid of that stop, and I'm going to cut the groove in the back of the side for the back panel. Now I need to square off this cut from the router bit. So I'm just going to use a knife and give myself a spot for the chisel to go into. Alright, now it doesn't have to be perfect, but I think that's pretty perfect.